Alright, much ado about nothing. Playing the winner of last week's Instant Deck Tech, Mono Blue Control in Modern. And this looks about right. 4 counter spells and not much else going on. At least we're on the play. Being on the play, Condescend is much, much better because we can counter a 2-drop. So my impression after one game is Shackles. It's all about the Shackles. Island Goo. Oh, I still didn't fix the lands. Is this Mono-Green? Alright. Experiment 1. Did our opponent just play around Condescend? There can't be any way. No one plays around Condescend. Experiment 1 isn't that much of a problem if we can keep our opponent from resolving other things. Opponent gets in for 1 with Experiment 1. 1 for 1, we call it. Ooh. Plumeveil should be good. Rancor. Let's just bounce Experiment 1 and draw a card. Fizzles the Rancor so they can't keep getting it back. Alright, they got the vines. Fair enough. Well, that was kind of a blowout. Yeah, we'll just eat it next turn with Plumeveil. Ooh, with Pact of Negation and Remand back up? Yeah, good luck. Maybe I should have played around the vines there. Alright, Plumeveil. Gonna block this Experiment 1. Essentially a removal spell that sticks around. And Plummet, main deck Plummet from the Mono-Green deck. Alright, we got the threat off the board. Now it's just a matter of countering everything. Well, we can't really counter Experiment 1. Alright, Experiment 1 resolves. If they go to Rancor, we'll probably counter Rancor with Condescend. Rancor, alright, actually, I don't even care about Rancor. You can have the Rancor. We're just going to block with Plumeveil again. Alright, another Cryptic, pass the turn. If we never let them grow the Experiment 1, none of this matters. Alright, let's just confirm Suspicion that thing. Actually, that's risky. What if they go land 1-drop? Yeah, let's just Condescend. Ooh, another Plumeveil and a Condescend. Well, let's bottom Plumeveil. I guess we can keep Condescend. Let's just scry again. Alright, pass the turn. I don't think we need a second Plumeveil if we're just going to counter everything our opponent does. Second Plumeveil doesn't really do much more than the first if our opponent only ever has 1 creature, which is pretty much our plan now. I'd like to confirm Suspicions, but I'd rather have our opponent go like land 3-drop first. Just so the one way I could imagine losing is opponent goes for 2-drop. We confirm Suspicion. They untap and play some sort of 1-drop that pumps Experiment 1 so it can attack through our Plumeveil. I guess that's fine because we could Pact of Negation, but then we're tapped out next turn. Alright, let's take the chance. I would like to get this down so we can draw cards. If our opponent goes land 1-drop that can pump Experiment 1, then good for them. Another Cryptic. Alright, we'll just keep passing. Now we can draw cards if we don't have to counter something. Once we get a Shackles, it's pretty much game over. Either that or a Guile. We haven't seen a Guile yet. Guile would be pretty spicy. Another Tuskray. Well, let's just Condescend. Scrying for Guile or Shackles. Don't want Stubborn Denial. Don't especially even want the land here. We'll draw on the lands eventually. Especially with all these clue tokens. I guess another Confirmed Suspicions would be fine. Spell Snare. Alright, Tech Edge is a land. Pass the turn. There's the 3rd land for our opponent. Smell Snare is probably going to be worse now that we've just countered all the 2-drops. Another Experiment 1. Alright, we're not going to fight over that. That doesn't help our opponent attack. Young Wolf. That I think we need to counter. Ooh, do we got a Cryptic? Yeah, that's kind of painful. Counter, draw. Because if that dies, then it pumps the experiment ones. That's the goal, is to not let the experiment ones grow. Which might mean we can't crack a clue here. Yeah, we're probably safe. Well, they're gonna attack. Alright, let's block. They probably have aspect of the Hydra, which we will remand. Alright, getting some more islands. Island go. Come on, Guile. Or Shackles. Either one. Ooh, Treetop Village? Nice. Actually, another confirmed suspicion would actually be kind of sweet. One thing this deck doesn't have, it has a lot of things that cycle. Cryptic, Remand. But other than confirmed suspicion of all things, it doesn't really have something that's just straight up card advantage. Alright, don't care about Ranker on Experiment 1. Still doesn't get through Plume Veil. 2-drop? Alright, so we get to take advantage of this Spell Snare. Crack some clues. Spell Snare. Island. Well, I guess we just play another Tech Edge. Do we want to? Yeah, let's just destroy Treetop Village now. We have more than enough mana to do everything. No sense in letting our opponent have extra mana for no good reason. Strangle Root. Spell Snare. Well, the Spell Snare has actually worked out. Ooh, another Plume Veil. Alright, land, go. Now, actually, a Warmonger's Chariot would actually be pretty sweet to start attacking. Tusker. Alright, Cryptic, Counter Draw. We are kind of running out of counters. Alright, that's Remand. Well, Plume Veil number 2. Another island. Yikes. Are we just gonna fizzle? Fizzle out of counters? Young Wolf. Alright. Can't do anything about that. I guess we can just take one. Treat it like a 1-1 unblockable. No attacks. Another Spell Snare. Alright. Island go. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna block Young Wolf if our opponent attacks. We can take one for now. Island go. Come on, something. Yep, take another one from Young Wolf. Down to a 15. Alright, down to 11. Sure. Stubborn Denial is actually fairly solid. Good against Ranker and Aspect of the Hydra. With Plume Veil, it's just hard counter for non-creature spell. Alright, we'll take one. Alright. Down to 7. There's a Cryptic. Cryptic is not bad. Still no Shackles. We're one card short of being halfway through our deck without a Shackles. Alright, take one. Alright, let's Stubborn Denial, Aspect to Hydra. Don't want to get too low. Down to 6. Another Spell Snare. Still no Shackles, still no Guile. You know, maybe we gotta block Young Wolf now. It does grow Experiment 1, but we do have Cryptic, which helps. I think they're out of Aspect of Hydras. 1, 2, 3. They have one left. They also probably have Vines, so worth being aware of. Island go. Well, we're doing a good job staying alive for not having a Shackles. Dryad Militant. Okay. Alright, let's just block the Experiment 1. We do lose one of our Plume Veils. Alright, let's try this again. Return target permanent to its owner's hand, draw a card. So bounce Dryad Militant. Draw a card. They go with Vines. So now I think we got a Pact of Negation, the Vines. There's a Warmonger's Chariot. Fizzle the whatever it's called. Rancor. Alright, we gotta pay 5 to not die to our Pact. Which is okay, because we have a ton of mana. Island. Little scary. Little scary. Opponent only has 2 cards, though. Let's Warmonger's Chariot. Ooh. Warmonger's Chariot. Pass the turn. Alright. We can take advantage of a Spell Snare. Counter Avatar the Resolute. We actually have Vines covered too, because they can't remand. We can remand it and they can't recast it. We're gonna need still need a Vidalcan Shackles at some point. There's the Shackles. Alright, now we're in business. Shackles. Equip Warmonger's Chariot. Do we want to attack? Let's wait one more turn and steal something first. We don't want it to get fizzled by don't want to get fizzled by a Vines and then lose. Opponent attacks. Alright, let's just steal a Young Wolf. Alright. So now we gotta take 2 and block the Young Wolf. Untap Shackles. Ooh, it's a Guile! We did it. We did it. Alright, let's try to steal this. In the flesh. That's a Guile. Can't be blocked except by 3 or more creatures, so Mega Menace. If a spell or ability would counter a spell, instead exile that spell, and you can play the card without playing its mana's cost. When it goes to the graveyard, you shuffle it back into your library. Well, and a Plume Veil. Well, I guess it's Guile time. Warmonger's Chariot on the Guile. Swing for 10. And we pretty much have lethal next turn. Land. Strangleroot. Yeah, let's just Spell Snare that. So it gets exiled. We could have cast it with Guile, but we got it anyway. Oh, mono blue. Mono blue. What do we want against this deck? The only thing maybe is Spell Skites to steal Rancors and Vines and such. Aspects of the Hydra. Kind of seems good. Plus it blocks. What do we not want? Maybe Pact of Negations. And I guess we can go down a couple Stubborn Denials and try it like that. That went pretty well for just never drawing a... alright. Well, I like this hand. Shackles, Spellskite, Condescend. Our opponent probably brought in Artifact Removal, though. I'm assuming they would realize that from seeing Shackles. Dryad Militant. On the draw, a little rougher. Ooh, double Spellskite. On the draw, Condescend, a little worse. Because we can't counter the 2-drop here. Dryad Militant's exiling things, instance in sorcery's ability, not especially relevant. Experiment 1. Well, I guess we just land Spellskite. Make sure our opponent can't Rancor. Leatherback Baloth would be big. Natural State takes down Alright, well, we're taking a beating. That is for certain. So we take 6, down to 12. Island, Spellskite. So I guess the plan is survive this turn, Cryptic Fog, and then hope we can Vidalcan Shackles our way out of this. Not necessarily going to work, but maybe. We drop to 6. Island, go. Treetop Village. Well, tap all creatures our opponent controls. Draw a card. Well, there is an island. Ooh, island. Now we can actually fog again? Is that better? We play Shackles, try to steal something with Shackles. If they have vines, do we lose? We have to pay to steal something. If they have artifact removal, then we lose. What's the advantage of waiting, though? We draw a spell snare? Alright. Shackles, hope that this works past the turn. With double Shackles, if they can't kill it, I think we can stabilize at a very low life total, but especially with Spellskite, they only have 2 cards in hand. Treetop Village. Are they going to double? Alright. We have to steal Experiment 1, I think. Alright, they're going to double. So now we steal no. Well, he could tap Treetop Village. Yeah, let's steal Experiment 1. Opponent's trying to figure out if they should actually attack here, and if so, how. And they just decide to pass and cast a Scavenging Ooze. Alright. Well, I think we just keep our Experiment 1. Stubborn Denial, eh? Well, I guess we just play a second Shackles past the turn. Opponent only has 1 card. Treetop Village. Treetop Village. Well, now we gotta steal Scavenging Ooze. I think the equation is basically the same. Opponent swings with everything. Block. 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 Take 3. Yeah, seems fine. Alright. Untap both. Oh, pass the turn. Down to 3. Ooh, can double Shackles do it? That is the main question. Cryptic is a nice backup. Treetop Village. Treetop Village. Well, let's steal a Treetop Village. Well, let's just steal both Treetop Villages. Put an end to that problem. And we can actually use one to activate the other? Oh, I did not expect that. And we still have Spellskite activation for a Vines of the Vastwood or Aspect of the Hydra. Now I think we're pretty much to the point where we can try to play the long game and just counter stuff. We're going to just keep Treetop Villages past the turn. Opponent attacks. Well, we just block with Spellskite. Yeah, let's Plume Veil. Not untap. Ooh, Tech Edge is good. Pass the turn. Experiment 1. Only has 2 cards in hand. Let's confirm suspicions. I kind of want to be able to draw some more cards. Now we have Stubborn Denial active, thanks to Plume Veil. And Spellskite's kind of keeping our opponent from being able to really do much. Let's keep the lands one more turn. Another Plume Veil. Alright, pass the turn, we can start drawing some cards, look for our Guile or something. And then eventually we're going to Tech Edge one of these lands so we can start stealing other creatures. So we draw 3, another Tech Edge. We're going to untap 1, give them back a Treetop Village, keep the other one. Ooh, there's a Chariot. Alright, so let's just Tech Edge, pass the turn. Ooh, we're going to have to discard. Discarding's fine. We'll discard a Warmonger's Chariot for now. I think we literally cannot beat Throne, come to think of it. Oh, maybe our opponent's going to play it out after all. Well, let's Tech Edge the Treetop Village. Now we're going to steal this Strangle Root so we can start actually killing our opponent. Opponent attacks. Actually, let's just block first and make it a 3/3 and then steal it. Alright. Dismember's Plume Veil. Steal Strangle Root. And now, 10 turns from now, we will win. Assuming we don't draw anything else. But it seems unlikely our opponent's going to be able to resolve a spell the rest of this game. And we got another Treetop Village covered. Well, let's Plume Veil. Maybe I shouldn't have discarded the Warmonger's Chariot, just as a way to close out the game quicker. I don't know if it matters. We don't really need to win fast. We're in such a good position. Dryad Militant. Alright. Not especially relevant. I think we just... Am I doing this right? Tech Edge, destroy Treetop Village. Yeah, that's fine. Now we can untap this other Shackles. Steal Dryad Militant. And now we're actually to the point where we're going to have to start discarding, actually. So get in there with Strangle Root. Let's just discard a Remand. Seems not good here. Anything we remand, they're just going to be able to replay anyway. Tusker, Spell Snare. Yep, we'll keep him tapped. Island. Attack with both. Down to 6, so 2 more turns. Militant. Alright. Well, it slows us down a little, but it doesn't really matter. Attack with both. Opponent can block 1. Probably Strangle Root, but it just really... None of it matters anymore. I don't think there's anything our opponent can do here. So yeah, they block. Strangle Root, Undying, comes back on our opponent's side. So we will just Shackles it again next turn. And it has haste, so we kind of still have lethal next turn. It can't deal damage to us because we have multiple blockers. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spellskites, 6 counter spells. Young Wolf. Alright. So what one has nothing? Alright. Untap. Island. Steal Strangle Root Geist. Go to 1, redirect Vines to Spellskite. And then let's just Cryptic. Bounce Young Wolf. And this gives us lethal right now. Still got Stubborn Denial, still got Spell Snare. And that does it! Well, it wasn't as quick of a scoop as we thought, but no less effective. Deck seems sweet.